All right, Oval fans. Now, I cannot take credit for this particular theory. Well, at least the foundation of the theory, which is, will Victoria Franklin, will the First Lady be killed, resulting in a murder mystery that will take place during a future season of the show? This was submitted via Instagram by a faithful follower, so thank you. They know who they are. And before moving forward in the video, please take a moment to hit the like button. Let's try to get to 100 likes on the video. Hit the bell notification icon and select all. That way you don't miss out whenever I post new content to the channel. Hit subscribe so we can reach 200,000, and follow me on social media. Links are in the description below. I actually checked this month's ratio so far, and we are about 30% of subscribers who view the content. So again, if you are a frequent viewer of the content but you haven't subscribed, please do so. And if you subscribed already, make sure you check back on the channel every day or so, every couple of days, for new content. I'm trying to get to at least 40% by the end of the month of viewership to come from subscribers. So looking at this theory, the number one thing is, it seems rather unlikely that Victoria is going to be killed off because, well, she's a main character. However, it would be interesting, to say the least, if she was killed off, because to be completely honest here, Tyler Perry isn't shying away from death in this show. I mean, it seems like every couple episodes, either Jason or someone else, or Jason, Kyle, or someone is just shooting, stabbing, strangling somebody to the death, or people having heart attacks like Laura. So let's just say, in a what if, let's say, I don't know if I would go so far as to say Victoria is murdered, but let's say she's put in critical condition somehow. And the person giving me the theory thought it would be between Jason or Priscilla, because we know that we literally just saw Jason attempt to strangle his own mother at the cliffhanger ending of the last episode. He's going to do the same thing again in this week's episode. And we know Priscilla has been threatening Victoria relentlessly to Sam's face ever since she saw, him having a rise after coming out of her bedroom. So it would be an interesting murder mystery plot for a certain season. Now, they're currently working on season 3 as we speak, or as you listen to the sound of my voice, if you're listening to this on March 13th. Oh yeah, that's right. Time goes up an hour and a couple hours. Crap. Okay, so basically, this would be pretty interesting. Now, again, motivation. Priscilla wants to do it because of what happened between Victoria and Sam, and Jason wants to do it because he's just crazy. So I dare say, I'm going to throw in another person of interest here. Don't get me wrong, the Priscilla and Jason angle makes a lot of sense. And if they get framed for a murder, that would be bad for them because, Sam could be like, I got to turn Priscilla in. I mean, she's constantly made threats and everything. And then, of course, Jason, let's say, hypothetically speaking, if Jason killed Victoria, do you think Hunter would turn him in or something? I mean, the man is all about his image. But I will say this much. If something happened to Victoria, I doubt that Hunter would want to confront Victoria's father about it. So in that situation, I do believe that he would not be able to save Jason and his image. That's what I think. Okay, more to the point. I think Gail would be an interesting candidate for the person to kill Victoria because of the fact that maybe she'll be brainwashed or, what's the word? I was using this certain word in other videos. Reacclimated into the family. Pretty much she goes through the same kind of rebranding, if you will, that Victoria did in her younger days when she was, wanting emancipation. But apparently whatever her mom did to her put her in line because, as the kids even pointed out, why do you act like a toddler when she's around? If you knew if you knew your grandparents the way I do, then you know to not mess around with them. So I'm thinking that Gail's going to come back a new person in more ways than one. She's, most likely not going to be that same rambunctious, rebellious, smart mouth teen she was when she left. However, one could argue that she goes through the process of those goons who were hired by the grandmother to get her in line. But the thing that makes her not break is her resentment towards her mother. What I mean is, she'll go through all the trials and, the hoops and, whatever they try to put her through. And obviously she might just fake it. She'll fake like being, okay, you win. I won't do anything crazy anymore. I won't, sneak out of the White House. I won't try to talk to lawyers or anything. So then her new vendetta is against her mother. So let's say Gail does come back to the White House. She's the perfect little child, but she's reached a new level of ruthlessness. It's almost like, here's another thing too. When you really look at season 2 of The Oval so far, I feel like it's become a little bit less of the Hunter and Victoria show. And it really has been showcasing the darker sides of some of the other characters. I mean, there are several characters in season 2 who seem almost completely unlike how they were in season 1. Now, could this be a result of a little less screen time, or the fact that things really aren't playing out the way they were last season? I know some people were speculating that Max was a completely different actor because of the way he looked and whatnot. It's like, wait, is Max smaller? I mean, I feel like I hear more of a country drawl from him, like he's Preston from Sisters, but no, it's like you got to look at the fact that season 2 picked up exactly where season 1 left off. The thing is, a lot of these characters have gone through so much since the last time we saw them, or even going back so far as to episode 1. Like Priscilla just is another person completely, I mean, Richard is showing, a darker side himself. Lily, I feel, is being more confident, resilient. Bobby is losing his calm, cool, collected demeanor because of his feelings. Max is just trying to survive, and the list goes on. And I mean, I think Donald is definitely showing a more goofier, cocky side, no pun intended, than, he did in season 1. So I really do feel like everybody's survival instincts are kind of kicking in. So we're definitely seeing more of a variety in their personality. Hence why I say whenever Gail reappears, she's not going to be that same person she was the last time we saw her. So I don't know if we're going to get any scenes of, Gail going through her re-education, if you will. But I just feel like whenever we see her again, she's not going to be that same girl. And possibly she'll despise her parents even more, specifically her mother. So it's really going to be interesting to see how things play out there. And this is why I had an issue with, what was it, episode 3, right? When Jason was on it was episode 3. I'm like, okay, you're not going to show us what happens on the plane. You could have at least shown us what happened once the plane touched down. Maud was carried away by an ambulance, and, the goons showed up to get Gail. Like, I really do wish we could have seen that scene just to kind of get Gail's reaction to, what, grandma's dead? Wait, where are you guys taking me? Why didn't we see that? Like, that's one scene I really wish they would have shown us. So I think that if you take into the Gail factor of that theory, it actually makes sense as to why she would have more of a reason to do something to her mother than Jason or Priscilla. I just feel like with Priscilla, it seems like look, don't get me wrong, Priscilla, like, acting is on point. It just feels like there's a certain level of pettiness and, just there's a lot going on. Like, remember, she still hasn't figured out what happened to Jean yet. So Priscilla might just go ahead and kill everybody. It's like, first going to go out to Victoria. I mean, hell, she even said the president too. And then if she finds out Jason had anything to do with Jean, ain't no, look, Jason a serial killer, but damn it, Priscilla, I don't know. I just feel like next level darkness within her soul that will come out and just, engulf everyone. So I think it will be an interesting angle, like for CW fans. Like I said, I've just been binging a whole lot of shows. Hell, between today and, yesterday afternoon. I binged Legends of Tomorrow season 1. Honestly, that's my favorite season. Look, don't get season 2 Reverse Flash and Legion Doom was awesome, but season 1, love it. I mean, I know a lot of people give it hate, but I love it. Yeah, there are issues with it, but still. Speaking of CW, like the Flash, season 3, when it's like, oh, we got to save Iris from Savitar, but then she doesn't die. I'm like, the writers, what balls they would have had if they would have just killed Iris off and kept the story going. Who's to say they couldn't just bring in another Earth Iris, but whatever. What I'm trying to get at is Tyler Perry has an opportunity here. And don't get me wrong, Karan Moore does an amazing job with Victoria, but I do think that this could actually add more evidence to what I've been saying for a while now, that in some ways, in some areas, the Oval has proven itself to be better than the haves and the have-nots, which is understandable because when you put out something new, sometimes, well, you know, the goal shouldn't always be to surpass your older work, but at the same time present something new. Is like you pay attention to what didn't work in previous projects in order to improve upon the newer ones. So basically what I'm saying is the original isn't always the best, but even if it's not, it doesn't really matter because you want to see growth and progression from creators. So I think if Tyler killed off a main character and kind of, I feel like that's really like next level soap opera where an entire season is kind of written around, okay, who done it? You know, because the Amanda story and the haves and the have-nots have potential, but they drew that out way too long. And we only got 8 episodes left, so there's no telling if we're going to get a conclusion to it. Sure, Wyatt admitted to it, but what does it matter if Wyatt admitted to it, which I still think is horse crap. But even if Wyatt did it, there's only 8 episodes left. Are Jim and Catherine not going to find out he did it? But in any case, Victoria being poisoned or, you know, Victoria being killed, I just feel like there's so many ways this could work. Like, here's why I think it would be interesting if it does happen. Let's say she drank something and it's poisoned. You would think that she would try to, you know, her heart would stop or whatever, and she'll try to, like, I don't know, feels like she's choking. So in a sense, she's kind of grabbing her own throat, trying not to die, and then she passes out or something. That's a perfect combination. That's a perfect combination of the Jason and Priscilla methods of killing her, because we've already seen Jason will strangle, you know, choke a hoe. And then, you know, what was it? Victoria said there were bruise markings on Jean's neck. So let's say if something happens to Victoria and somebody finds her and there are bruises around her neck, they're from herself because of the poison. You know, she tried to, you know, put her own arms around her hands around her neck. And then, of course, if the food or drink was tampered with, you know, Sam would be like, Priscilla kept saying she would poison Victoria. So right there, it would seem obvious that either Jason or Priscilla were the ones to do something to Victoria. But like I mentioned in this video, the third party being Gail would be an interesting angle to take, because the person she was when she left wasn't the same person she was when she got back. So that's my case for you. Do you think Tyler Perry could write a murder? Well, no, he could. Do you think Tyler will write a murder mystery element of the Oval centering around Victoria and the most likely suspects of Priscilla and Jason as the ones to kill her? And do you like the angle I came up with for Gail? So with that being said, thanks so much for tuning in. And if you want to donate to the channel, feel free to do so on PayPal or Cash App. And as I mentioned before, trying to get that percentage up with the viewership. So if you have not subscribed, please do, so we can get to at least, 40% of my viewers being subscribers. So with that being said, I'll catch you in the next video.